start putting legal case, all the state may pay penalty, which will not be in our 1 digit, 2 digit under, right? So it is essential because now laws are getting strict. We need to ensure that we are not getting legally caught somewhere for our resources. We have seen many people taking NCERT textbook images. Many states have taken our image from our textbook and they have just made a material out of it and made it copyright. If NCERT puts a case on you, the minimum penalty is just 1 lakh rupees only and 3 years jail. Okay, so we can put you easily. So we don't really understand the seriousness. It's not about going to jail or not about paying the money. It is really we need a awareness about making an academic resource which is authentic, but it is also need to be ethical in use. That's why we are just going to learn about open educational resource, so that this have to be applied in all our educational resource which we are preparing. It can be for your TV channel, it could be for your Diksha platform. If not, you are developing nothing. Morning I asked how many are developing, hardly 5-6 people. But at least you are using your own presentation. You do trainings at diets, you give your presentation to them, you give the presentation without any license. Right? So now Dr. Natasha is opening a presentation. The first thing you can see on the first slide itself is there is a license given. But most of us in the training, we don't put our license in our presentation, which is itself will have a legal consequences to others. Right? So you need to understand about that. That's why we have Dr. Natasha Gomes from University of Goa. She is an assistant professor there, and moreover, that there is a team who are all young people who are working together to promote open educational resource, and they work at international level also. There is something called UNESCO is having a program OER for better world. Okay, so this is a program which you all can participate. It's not only made for them, right? They are all being part of OER for better world. Morning, Dr. Ajita was there. She is now a hub coordinator in India. And Dr. Natasha has become hub coordinator now. Yeah.
This developer.
She is a developer. Actually, that is a program which encourages people to contribute. If you are not, many of the states, when we ask people, say state doesn't involve us. There is no need for somebody to involve you. You have an open platform. Usually around November, December, there is an open invitation for anybody to apply. There is no financial commitment from your side, not from their side. But it works so much that you can contribute and you will be working together with some senior. There will be somebody to help you. A team will be formed. So it's good to work together. So she is also part of the team. They are all practitioners who are coming here and talking to us. That's why we can also have the authentic information. So on behalf of everyone, I welcome Dr. Natasha, and followed up by this, we will also have a session by Dr. Rajesh, who is an associate professor in NCERT. He is the AI cell in charge of NCERT. So I've just asked him to take the session because everyone must be aware that NEP talks about integrating AI. Now many states have started developing AI curriculum. Something we wanted to do, AI training, AI curriculum, but without understanding, many of them are teaching just Python programming and not really concentrating on AI. So we'll be having a session on that in the afternoon today, 2 sessions which are very important for you to take up this initiatives in your state. And very specifically on OER, we have again a 5 hours training which is available. As an extended learning, you can do that. And this is again a 5 days training, which this year we have done only for the southern states. This year we have completed for southern states, all the SCRTs and the universities we have completed. But next year we will be choosing one region. We haven't decided which region. We are just looking for open space, who is willing to receive it. We don't want to force it now. South, they were ready to receive it. We did that for them. So this next year, it's like a lot. Who wants it, which RIE is also ready to participate, we will go and do that program for that region. And we do this program with Commonwealth of Learning, SEMCA, because that's an international organization who is next to UNESCO. They are working on OER. So we work with that team and do this training. So you also can take up this content is available. You can also take this one area in your states to do more of training. Okay.
Thank you, Dr. Angel, and a very good afternoon to all of you. I'm super excited to be here. The only thing is, we have just a little over an hour. This is quite a lot for us to complete, but at the same time, I'm hoping that you go away with some important aspects related to open education resource. Before we begin, just a few things. If you have any questions, please stop and bring out these questions, because a lot of times, if you have a question, it is possible that the others also have something similar. Another thing is, just for my knowledge, ma'am mentioned there were some of you who've already created OERs, right? Can you just raise your hand so that I know? Great. One, two, the others? Okay, great. Because in case we have examples, it would be great if you all can also pitch in and tell us your experience with things. Okay, so let's get started. I'm hoping that we can have discussions, because a lot of the things that we see in our real life are linked to copyright and license. So imagine, so what's your good name? Zach. Zach. Suppose I find this bottle here. Okay? No one's in this classroom. No one's in this room. I'm really thirsty after lunch. Can I take the bottle? Can I drink from it? Not without permission, sir says. Now, but there's no one else for me to ask permission. All of you all have gone out for some activity. And I'm really thirsty. And I mean, I can't find any name on the bottle. So what do I do in this case? One minute. If I'm thirsty, can I have it? A little bit. I just want to sip.
You should.
It's a question of like me being able to stand or not, whether I have water. But think of it this way: the resources that we have online are also like these bottles. So if I just take it, even if no one is here, it is stealing. Or for that matter, even if sir's name is not on the bottle, it still doesn't mean it belongs to me. Okay. Now I'll ask you another question, because I'm sure you would have seen this outside, right? But what if you have a water dispenser? Can I drink the water from here? Why? What's the difference between the bottle and the dispenser?
It's open for all.
How do I know it's open for all?
The size.
The size, okay, it's in a common area, okay, but is it? How do I know it's open that anyone can drink water from there, from the water dispenser, and not from the bottle? This is on.
Maybe there's a sticker that it is drinking water.
Okay. Okay, there's a sticker, it's mentioned somewhere that okay, this is potable water, we can go and drink it. Okay, and then I know, okay, yes, anyone can drink it. Even if a visitor comes on campus, while even this to an extent is a public space, they can't just take a bottle. But they can go ahead and use the water from the dispenser. Now, just a short activity. All of you are connected to your the desktops which are here. Okay. So I listen to the prompt first, and then I'll give you like 5 minutes. Okay. Before that, while you are busy doing the activity, since we have very short time, I will just give you all maybe max 5 minutes, and then once the 5 minutes are up, I'll say something like this. If you hear me once, clap once. Can you do that? Okay. If you hear me once, if you can hear my voice, clap once. If you hear my voice, clap thrice. Okay. So that is our code to know that we have to center our attention back here. Okay. So let me explain the activity. Now assume that you have to prepare a presentation, some presentation, and you need photos. Okay. I want you to go online and find the water bottle. Okay. Not literally the water bottle, but an image that is there online, but you are not allowed to use it. Why? Because you don't know whose name it is. And I want you to find the water cooler. So water cooler is what? Obviously I can't take the water cooler home, right? But I can use the water which is there. Okay, so find one image that you can reuse and one image that it's there, but you can't reuse it because it doesn't belong to you. Okay, I'll give you 3 to 5 minutes, and then I'm going to ask you, how do you know it is a water bottle, that image that you selected, and how do you know it is a water cooler? Okay, so pay attention to what you see on screen. You can choose any topic you want. Okay, your time starts now. Yes.
Water bottle.
You can use your phones also if you have internet on your phones. That's fine. But I need you to answer these questions. How do you know that it is a water bottle? And how do you know that it is a water cooler? So you need to keep your eyes open and see what do you have around that image. Or could be on the image also. Okay, it's 2:12. 3 minutes, and then we'll regroup and discuss. It doesn't have to be a literal image of the water bottle. It could be an image related to your own course. Say, for instance, I want to teach germination. Okay, doesn't have to be literal water. This is just a metaphor. Okay, choose any topic. Say, for instance, you want to teach related to your school topics. Or you're doing a presentation on, I don't know, maybe in the morning I did the ADDIE model, right? You learned about the ADDIE model. Suppose you are teaching the same test. You need to find the picture of the ADDIE model. Okay. So which of this image you'll find online? There will be multiple images of the ADDIE model. Which of these are the water bottle? That means you cannot reuse it in your presentation. Okay. And which of these ADDIE models that are there online? To give you an example, are the water cooler where you are allowed to reuse. Or say, for instance, you're teaching the water cycle. There will be images of the water cycle, right? Okay. Which of these images you are allowed to use, which you are not allowed to use. And tell me why. Just give another 2 minutes. Okay, another 2 minutes. Sir, understood the activity? If you are not able to log into your desktop room where you have your phones, right? If you have internet on the phones, you can search, because more important it is. So both you have to find the water bottle as well as the water cooler. Perfect. Another 2 minutes. Could be any topic. Or you can also search for water bottle. Any topic. Basically go to your search, wherever you search for images. Okay, a minute. Sir, I'll come to you last. Okay, because you have experience. Okay, both of you. Okay, perfect. So one image which is water bottle and the other image is water cooler.
नहीं मैं तो एडी मॉडल कर लेते हैं
हाँ, तो ये तो वाटर कूलर है या वाटर बॉटल है?
नहीं वो बात नहीं मैंने वो मींस एडी मॉडल को कौन सा कॉपीराइट प्रोटेक्टेड है कौन सा नॉन कॉपीराइट प्रोटेक्टेड है यही वाला मैंने निकाला
हाँ, परफेक्ट. ओके, पर ये मॉडल कॉपीराइटेड है या ठीक है, तो ये तो बॉटल है या वाटर कूलर है?
वो नहीं निकाला
Okay. Okay, let's regroup. It's 2:15. So wherever you are in your process, it's okay. Let's regroup. So those of you who have not created any OERs, can I get your thought process first? Like, what images did you find? How do you know it's the water bottle? That means you cannot reuse this image. Though it's a beautiful image, you cannot reuse it. And how do you know it is a water cooler? Whichever. So basically 2 images. Okay. Does anyone want to any takers?
Like they should not be any brand. There should not be any brand name on the
Okay.
water bottle.
Yes. So if
Even
there is,
in the water cooler,
Yes.
if you want.
okay, so if there is a brand name, that means what it is?
It is
Copyrighted.
It
Yes.
is copyrighted,
Okay.
it's patented.
Yes. So that means we cannot reuse it freely.
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Good point. What else? Any other observation? How do you know your image is free to reuse?
Under the toolbar, there is a license
Of
for
where?
use, commercial and other license.
Yes.
There.
Yes. I don't know whether you'll have, some of you might have already searched for it under the toolbar, which we will also see once again. There is, you can choose the license of the images, which we will get to in a bit. Any other observations? How do you know the images that you've selected? They are your water bottle. That means you cannot reuse it.
If the license if the license is a Creative Commons license, it is a CC by ND. So we cannot make any
You cannot make any
derivations.
derivatives. That means I
Yeah.
cannot crop it, I
Yeah.
cannot change. Now, if you've not heard CC by ND, don't worry. We will get into it in just a few minutes. Okay. Any other observations?
File type.
Sorry?
File type.
File size.
Type.
File type.
Yeah.
Okay, yes. PNG, they, both of them would be this, right?
Yeah, but if it's WebDP, then it's not possible to reuse.
Sorry, could you please
If
repeat?
it's WebDP file, it's impossible to reuse.
Yes, so you need to check the format. Certain formats, they will not let you reuse the format. Okay. Any other observations? For those of you who have created OERs. So,
Yes, sir.
yes, you wanted to also share.
Okay. The same process is this because when we search image railway tool, then we can choose whether there is it Creative Commons or whether under licensing. Or under licensing, there is some subtle or subtle stock like thing is there where we can purchase it.
Yes.
Then we can use it.
Yes.
Yeah.
But even if you purchase, that means it's copyrighted, right? That's why you're purchasing
Yeah.
the license to reuse. But that doesn't mean it's an OER.
No,
Okay. So yes, there are ways in which you can find, even though things are available in the open, you can still find resources. Now your main concern, like how ma'am said, we should be mindful of not violating any copyright. We don't want any fines, or even if we've created something today, 10 years down the line, we need peace of mind that we would not have any lawsuit against us. So just few things that you need to remember while thinking of your resources. One, if you find a presence like there is a logo there, or you see the C mark, the C in the circle, it's copyrighted. If there is no symbol,
TM, trademark.
even if it's trademark is also sort of like a copyright. If there is no symbol, it means it's copyrighted. Okay. Even if you credit the source, even if you say, okay, I took it from this person, I have taken this bottle who's Bisleri. Okay, it doesn't work because it's still copyrighted. When can you use? Okay, you can use in these conditions. One, it's in the public domain. We will see how to find resources which are in the public domain. And second is what is called a greater class of licenses called as open licenses. Now, OERs, they are part of this public domain and open license, and we will see what are the nitty-gritties of this. But before that, let's do public domain and open license. We will be doing an open license. Okay, what is an open license? Now, I wanted to actually share with you another example, which I think will come later on in the slides, but I want to do it now. So, all of you might have seen Tom and Jerry, right? All of you all might have seen Mickey Mouse. Okay. Say like it's a world famous cartoon. I'm teaching kids. I want to use that. Can I use it with my students?
No.
Okay.
For educational purpose, you can.
Okay,
No.
wait. There are a lot of things. How many of you all think that absolutely not? It cannot be used. Can you raise your hands? Okay, ma'am says 1, 2, 3,
Yes.
4, 5. So 5 of you all saying you absolutely cannot use it. Can you mention your rationale why you say you cannot use it?
We can use it.
Okay, you are saying those who say you cannot use it. Okay,
Because it's somebody else's creativity.
it's someone else's creativity. Okay, you cannot really. Okay, yes, sir.
You can use after taking the permission maybe.
But listen, if it is Disney, by the time we ask Disney permission, they will give us figures which are 5, 6 digit, which I don't think I have enough of money. Nor can I ask my institution or SCRT to pay for that.
I can recreate that, Lisa.
No,
I can draw.
Yeah, but if you recreate it still in the image of something, right? So it's the same thing. If I take a photo with a logo of some brand, I'm still reusing their logo. To give you an example, you know McDonald's, right? That M. So every year, McDonald's makes like really a lot of money just through films. You know, films, they show people, characters going through driveway and all of that. So the film developers or the film producers need to pay McDonald's because they are using the symbol in their movies. So they are making revenue not by selling those chicken fries or whatever French fries that are there. So even a logo or even an image, if it's a recreation of something, it's the copyright still belongs to the copyright holder. Okay. So then the question is, okay, Mickey Mouse. For those of you who said yes, you can reuse it. Okay. I'll just give it to Seth.
Um, uh, I want to say that we cannot reuse or recreate from that. Suppose Disney is streaming a video. That video we can use to display in front of students. That part I think we can do, but we cannot recreate.
Okay, I have another question. Suppose your students you're taking an online class. In the four walls of your classroom, they may not be someone who's coming in and checking. Okay. But if you're taking an online class, in this case, you still have to pay. You still, it's copyright, right? So you need to pay. Say, for instance, all of you have heard radio jockeys, right? They cannot play the music, the songs which are there just like that, just because they want to play. They need to pay royalty. Okay, so in that case, fine. In our four walls, no one really knows. But we are looking at the bigger picture, right? As SCRTs, as NCRT, when they're creating content or diffusing content, we need to be conscious of these smaller things. Okay, but it's a good thought. It's a good thought. Any other this why you should why you can use it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Sir, 1 minute, 1 minute. Sir, you wanted to say also, no?
Ma'am, actually, we can reuse it. Every copyright has a certain duration of its existence. So once the duration is
Expired.
exhausted, yeah, expired, then we can definitely reuse it.
Absolutely, absolutely. What about you, Gunya?
Pratishtha.
Yes, Pratishta ma'am was saying a very important point that copyright doesn't last forever. There will be some expiry. The moment it expires, then the content moves into public domain, which we will get into in a bit. Okay, the moment it moves into public domain, we can all use it.
Yes, suppose
Okay.
now, this
Yes.
is a trademark.
Yes,
Symbol, name, sign, signage, it can be anything.
yes.
For example, this thing happened in Leh.
Hmm.
There was a guy, he started a restaurant.
Yes. You can hear? Should I pass?
He named it Pizza Hut.
Yes.
The symbol was not same, the name was same.
Yes.
So the Pizza Hut guys came to him and he said, better you change your name, otherwise you won't be able to stand on your feet also.
Yes.
And there was another case, there was a hotel very recently, 2 years back, Ananda.
Hmm.
Somebody from Delhi objected.
Yes.
Now he has to change his name to Amanti.
Yes.
I have seen that because the copy, there might be a duration period, but there are signage, there are names, there are symbols. I mean, it is their trademark.
Correct.
There is no, I think, there is no limit for that.
Yes. Yes. So what happens is the certain licenses can be renewed, especially in terms of like logos and names of companies. Like if you take something like Parle G, it has existed, or even Nirma for that matter, has existed since Bata time immemorial. So for that matter, the logos which are there, you need to be very cautious because those licenses are renewed from time to time. Now, in terms of what is produced, content, okay, copyright matters, irrespective. Now you have to keep in mind, Disney is produced where? If you are coming back to our Mickey Mouse.
It's beyond 60 years, ma'am.
Okay, beyond 6 years, yes, but where is it produced? Where is it made? Which country?
Yeah, that's what
USA. So each country has their own copyright laws, their own IPR laws. We have our own in India. In the US, they have their own laws. So if you're taking some content from which is produced in some other country, you need to make sure that it is in compliance with their laws. If in our country it's around 70 years after the death of the author, the content gets into the public domain. In the US, it could be different. It could be 90 years, for instance. Okay. So now all of these things, obviously, it's a lot of work because you need to check. But we need to be careful that we are doing this step. Of course, there are tools to help us make this process a little less cumbersome. So today I'll just take you through what I'm hoping to achieve in this next 45 minutes that we have. We'll go through what is OER. Some of you already know after doing this exercise right now. What are the licenses? What are the open licenses that you can use? Creative Commons is one such license. Okay, though we will get into depth as to what Commons is, we look at what is curation. I mean, you've seen so many images that you've checked, right? Why should we create when it already exists? But if it exists, should we just use it in the same manner? And finally, if we have time, I hope we do at least for 5-10 minutes, we will do a treasure hunt. Okay? So all of you must have already seen this. This is a definition by UNESCO in 2019, and there's another one also in 2024 that has come up. UNESCO comes up with guidelines for governments, institutions on how to create resources, how to share them. So from this definition, we basically pick up three things. So what does O mean? O in the sense means open, that there's no cost. The water cooler, I can just go and use the water from there. I don't need to pay a fee to use it. Some things that I can adapt. Say for instance, the instructions on that water cooler are in English. I'm from Goa, so Konkani is the local language. My students will not probably understand the English that's there. I would want to put the instructions in Konkani. So if it's an OER, I can adapt and share it. I would share it not only with my students, with some other teachers so that she can reuse it. Educational, of course, this you would know. Just for teaching learning, it becomes educational. And we're not only talking about images, but a range of material. This could be videos, it could be documents in multiple formats. Okay. Now the question is, why do we need all of this OER? We have some very good material out there, right? Created by companies and all. Why do we need?
To make easier to access by the learners and the learning community.
Yes, accessibility. Okay. What else? Like what you see on screen is the fact that, like I mentioned about Konkani, I'm sure in your local languages, you would not have all of the content that is available in the languages that your students speak. Okay, it's impossible that you will find all of the material. And even if you do, sometimes they may not be, in the right quality or in the right length. So we do find scarcity that is adapted to our needs. We also know things are copyrighted. If I have to use something from someone else, I need to buy the copyright. But as educators, we know that this limits access. It's also expensive. I mean, I don't know about you all, but I definitely don't have the funds to pay for, the right to reuse content. It also means I cannot change. Say, for instance, I take the rights of Shaktiman. All of you all know Shaktiman? Yeah. Okay, so I want to adapt that to teach maybe a concept in class. Now I cannot change the video because if at all I can buy the copyright to diffuse something, but I can't adapt it, I can't change the language. And even if you send and ask for permissions, God knows when you're going to get a reply. You might get it soon, you might get it later. But the main issue is that I have my presentation tomorrow. So time is of essence. I mean, all of you would be facing this. Like, we don't have the entire week to prepare something. And what are the benefits? Of course, the reverse of that. It is accessible, it costs almost nothing, customizable, and it helps you innovate. Say, for instance, I have already images online available. I can use these images and create a game. I can use these images and create a worksheet or some other material. Okay, I can adapt it, change it to whatever context I want. And all of this helps us build, to tie into ISDG 4, which is quality education. Now, what resources are not OER? We've done what are OER. Which resources are not OER? Yes. Copyright section.
The resources which are copyrighted are not OER.
Yes, the ones which are copyrighted are not OER. There was also one more thing that I'll come back. I think, sir, you only mentioned about fair use. Okay, but I'll come back to that in just a few seconds. So, like you mentioned, copyright is the ones that are not. I mean, they are not OER. It means that all rights, irrespective, right to reuse, right to share, all of them are guarded. Who owns the copyright? The owner. Okay, so you need to like pay a fine, and it's also actually an incentive for creativity. If I've developed something that is great, that has some value in society, I might want to put it out and I'll get reimbursed. It's a means also for me to earn a living in a way. So if you will get financial compensation, you can decide the terms. If you are a copyright holder, you can decide the terms. It's also if I develop or I write a book, for instance, I write a workbook, it may come under IPR, intellectual property license, my intellectual property. And this could be a painting or a book. But we know that this hinders education. Why? We did it earlier, right? Like we don't have time to buy this copyright. It's expensive. It's a range of things. Now there's another concept that some of you mentioned, which is fair use. Suppose I want to use my Mickey Mouse, so I want to use the bottle within the four walls of my class. You might have heard some people say, okay, it's fair use in education. Everything is fair. But not always. We need to be careful of certain things. Like one, you need to check the copyright laws of the country. So we need to check the copyright laws of India. And even if I want to use Mickey Mouse, I have to check the copyright laws of the states. Now reuse is allowed, but it's in certain cases. Therefore, there is an asterisk. Now, how much is allowed, what to what extent, depends on these things. Like whatever you're taking or reusing it, is it factual in nature or is it creative? For instance, if I take Mickey Mouse and I do a parody of Mickey Mouse, okay, or I change Mickey Mouse some features and I use Mickey Mouse to teach a concept, am I taking it directly from the main source or am I having a creative adaptation? Now, it also depends on how much am I taking. Am I taking 2 hours? Am I taking 2 seconds? And am I taking the core idea? Now, even if I take a core idea, but if it is for 2 seconds, this could be problematic. So, who decides whether it is fair use or not? Out of all of this, like the asterisk means a lot. There are a lot of things under this. Who decides?
Ma'am, the contents which are available in web,
Mhm.
they have specific applications like web scrollers and all.
Okay.
So those applications decides whether this content is recreated.
Not necessarily. Suppose I am Disney or I am Bisleri or whatever company I am, and if I see that certain my content is used, even if it is used in educational context, I might have an issue with it. So this area is slightly grey because the extent of use, if you are using copyrighted material, these things come into focus. Now, as educators, this just adds a whole layer of headache. So, I mean, though it's always good to reuse material. When it's copyright, we need to be a little cautious because what we take and use also depends on market value. Suppose it's something, a hot product in the market, and I reuse it, even if it is for a very little chunk. The copyright holder might have an issue because they will lose money if I use the material without paying them. So, it's just too complicated because it's also linked to transformative value. And hence you have all of these cases of copyright violation that's there. Okay, because this area is too grey. Now the best thing for us is to use, yes, open resources or resources which are in the public domain. Another word for public domain, I mean, you'll find the symbols around, you'll find PD, public domain, or you'll have the C, the copyright C, and you'll have a line across it. So what does it mean? Here, these resources you can use. You don't need to cite the source. You can adapt. You can do what you want. You can even create a new product and sell it. Okay, but you need to be careful and check the license needs to be PD or this C with a line. Now, like we mentioned, there are some resources where copyright has expired. Okay, and in these cases, you can reuse the material without having any issue. Normally, you have websites, repositories that put out material that goes in public domain. So this comes to the question that I had asked. So now you see this video of Mickey Mouse. It was published in 1928 by Walt Disney. coming to our question on Mickey Mouse, can this be reused?
If,
20.
Yes.
royalty
What is the date?
1928. 1928.
98.
Yes.
Yes.
So 1928, what did I tell you? What are the factors?
Plus 70 years down to
Okay. So what are the factors do we need to know? Now see over here when you click on this, whatever Walt Disney, you may or may not get information below this video. Okay. Assume that this is the only thing I've given you. Now you saw I've given you some information about what this presentation is, right? The license. Okay. Now assume that I'm creating this for NCERT and for all of you all to reuse. I said it's under a Creative Commons license, it's an open license. So obviously I cannot have any copyrighted material here. You assume this. Now you see the year. You also see Walt Disney. What information do you need to search online to know if I've done something right or if I violated copyright? What do you need to know?
Walt Disney belong to which country?
Okay, which country? So Walt Disney, you will go and check which country Walt Disney is registered in. Okay, it's the US. Then what do you need to do?
For how long they are providing the copyright?
Yes, for how long is the copyright? So you will need to check the IPR laws of the country. Okay, and you have the date when it is published. So this particular material, you can reuse it. Why? Because the first one was created in whatever the year which is, and it entered into public domain 2 years ago. Okay, now only this particular one, you know, Mickey Mouse, you have those other animated ones, the colored one, that has not entered copyright, I mean, that's not entered public domain yet. Okay, this black and white version has. Okay, so you need to be like cautious, you need to understand where things come from, but you can still use materials. Okay, you just need to do a little bit of like
Ma'am,
digging.
one question. If
Yes.
it has entered the public domain, that means we can color it. It is in black and white
Yes.
version.
So this one, you can do whatever you want to it.
Okay.
Okay, you can do whatever. You can cut it, edit it. So this was a video. Okay, if you can see it's a video. I have cut it and I put a screenshot. Okay, so this is allowed.
No, this character, like this picture, can we do the modification of we
With
can
this
color in it?
particular, yes, this video which is there, this one you can do.
Acha, this is regarding to the video only or
Yes.
the character.
No, it is regarding the video, this content.
Okay.
Okay, yes.
मैडम हमें कैसे पता चलेगा कि इसका कॉपीराइट एक्सपायर हो चुका है और
हाँ।
ओरिजिनल डेट कहाँ से हम ले लें दूसरी बात और हमें ये कहाँ से पता चलेगा कि कौन से देश का कौन सा ऑथेंटिक लॉ है क्योंकि
हाँ।
आप NCFSC भी ले लेती है ना उसकी 2 कॉपी इंटरनेट पे
हाँ।
NCFSC की
Yes.
तो वो ऑथेंटिकेशन हमें कहाँ से मिलेगा कौन कंफर्म करेगा
You will only
या
have to
फिर वो
confirm.
हम ही कंफर्म करेंगे
Yes.
और हमने कंफर्म किया
Yes.
अगर गलत निकला तो वो
Now see,
हमारे
if it
ऊपर
is,
उड़ जाएगा
हाँ वो तो है, like it's a very sensitive topic in a way. Now see, if it's linked to a company, like something like Walt Disney or any major company, they will document every product. You don't have to worry, they will put their website, everything, information will be there. Most of the countries have their copyright laws in place. So you would need to go and check. That is one.
कोई ऐसी सिस्टम नहीं है क्या जैसे उस वो लिंक अगर हमने किसी एक इंजन में डाल दी सर
हाँ।
इंजन हो कोई हो
हाँ।
और वो बता दे ऑथेंटिक कि ये कॉपीराइटेड है या कॉपीराइटेड नहीं है क्योंकि
Yeah,
एक इमेज के लिए अगर वो हम कंपनी ढूंढे और वो
Correct.
लॉ पढ़े
हाँ।
तो ये भी ठीक नहीं होगा शायद
हाँ।
कोई उसका मतलब बीच वाला हल होगा इजी वे
Yeah,
So अभी तक I have not checked the website.
कुछ भी नहीं है
But you do have repositories that are online that tell you, or there are repositories that tell you, okay, this year these are the resources that have gone in the public domain. So which I will show you in a bit. But taking a link and putting online as of now, product no one has developed. But you never know.
साइबर सिक्योरिटी की भी रिस्क है अगर कोई किसी को बताना है कि ये कॉपीराइटेड नहीं है लेकिन वो
हाँ।
एक्चुअली वो कॉपीराइटेड है
Yes.
अगर वो उसी ने खुद ने कोई ऐसी वेबसाइट डेवलप कर ली और हमने वो यूज कर लिया लेकिन ओरिजिनल वेबसाइट को डालेंगे तो
Correct.
फिशिंग का मामला हो गया ना
Yes. No, that's true. That's true. And hence, like in case you do need to use copyrighted material, this is what you do.
इसमें कोई ऑथेंटिकेट
Okay.
कर ही नहीं रहा इसको
Yeah. Otherwise, it's very dicey. But the best case scenario for all of us, if we don't want to get into this headache of finding out copyright, is to use our open resources. And hence, we need to know what is the spectrum of licenses, what are the spectrum of rights that are there. So, some that are most restrictive, and you have least restrictive. So, most restrictive are your copyright. Okay. You have your registered trademark. All of this are really restrictive. You need permissions. On the other hand, you have no rights reserved. Do you remember what I said? No rights reserved. What is the symbol? Yes. Yes, perfect. C with a slash PD, or you have O a zero, that is their public domain. Now, in between all of this, you have what are called open licenses. You would say you have copyright, no, over here. This is also called copy left. Okay. Um, one of the open licenses you have, they are called CC licenses, or your Creative Commons. But that's not the only license there is. You have the others. This is a GNU license. You see for a lot of like softwares or things that are being developed. Your yeah yeah CC zero, zero public domain. Okay. Yeah.
Left down side.
Yes. Okay. So, a little bit about Creative Commons. I'll do this very short, okay? You just need to, I will go back. The slides will be there. I'll be coming back to the CC0, so don't worry, okay? You just need to pay attention to 4 symbols. And these 4 symbols will translate into 6 licenses, okay? Yes. If you know these 4 symbols, the 6 licenses, apne aap se sudhar jayega. You don't have to worry, okay? So, just 4 things you need to keep in mind. 1, CC BY. What does this BY mean for those of you who already know?
This is all attributes, all restriction. There is no any restriction.
Yes.
You can use it, derive it,
Yes.
remix it, share it.
Yes. So the thing is with this, with Creative Commons license, they are already open license. That means all of this with the CC on it, you can reuse all of them. Okay. Now, only thing is there are certain conditions in how you can reuse the license. The first thing that you will find in all the CC licenses is BY. BY over here means whoever is the creator, you have to credit the source. Okay. So suppose sir has developed some resource, an image. You all can, and it says that it is, you see this BY symbol, you can reuse, but you have to say that he has developed it. You have to write his name. You have the symbol called as share alike. Okay, we'll get into this a bit. It just means in the same way that you have done something, you have to share it in the same manner. Reciprocal. Okay, yes. Third, this is self-explanatory, right? I mean, though it's a dollar sign, sometimes you'll find a euro. I haven't seen rupee, but that may come also. Okay. And the last one, like ma'am was saying a little earlier, it's your equal to sign in the circle. Yes. Here it just means that whichever equal to equal. You can reuse it, but you have to use it in the same manner, in the equal format. Okay? Without creating any changes. Now we'll get into the 6 licenses. Don't worry, this may seem a little heavy. Okay? But you will see this 4 symbols. We will do. Okay, once we see the examples, it'll be it'll help you see things more in context. So the first license is just called CC BY. Attribute. What does attribute mean? You're going to help me out now. Attribute.
To give credit.
You have to give credit. Okay. You can adapt. You can use commercially. That means you can create a product, sell it, and or get money out of it, and you can share it. Next, we see another symbol now. We see another symbol, SA. So what is different between the first and the second symbol? Yeah. So what does it mean?
We can use and we have to share.
Yes.
Similar conditions should be there.
Yes. So like the first one, certain things are the same. The only thing is when we are creating a new product. Say for instance, I have taken some video, whatever. I'm using the example of Konkani because that's most relevant to my context. I change it into Konkani. I can share it, but I have to make sure that I'm using the same license. Okay, share under the same license. Third, now this is another symbol. This is pretty easy. CC BY, and what is different here? Non-commercial means? Yes, I cannot sell it, I cannot make money out of it. Okay, needs to be free and open. The third, ND. Certain things are the same. Only condition here, I cannot make any changes. Okay, I cannot change, if there's an image, I cannot cut it, I cannot change the color, I cannot translate, I cannot do anything with it. I can reuse it. Okay, I can reuse it for free, but no changes. Now it gets a little more complex
More
because there are
nearer
more
to-
symbols. Yes.
Nearer to copyright.
Yes. Okay. So here, some things you can still adapt, but the issue again, commercial, and I have to share it under the same license. And the last, I mean, sort of among the 6 licenses, the last one. This we have, I cannot adapt, and I cannot sell it. Like I cannot derive money out of it. But I can share it. It's free to share. But in the same format. Okay? Okay. Question. Suppose I see this on a resource. What can your teachers do? Or you see this on a resource or someone else sees it. Is modification allowed or
Not
not?
allowed. Not allowed.
Why? Modification is allowed. Why?
Not allowed.
Wait, commercial? What symbol do I need to see if it is commercial? Yeah, NC. Okay, I don't see NC here. That means it can be used commercially. Okay, so you were saying we cannot make any modifications. Why? What?
No derivative.
Yes.
No derivative.
Yes. We have this symbol that's there, right? ND, non-derivative. That means we cannot make any modifications. Allow. So in this we did the spectrum, right? We need to just keep in mind on one end you have copyright and on the other hand you have your public domain. And the moment you move from here to there, the rights that you have they reduce. So on which end of the spectrum do you see the ND? I understand it's a little bit small. Where do you see the ND? Yes. More towards the right hand side. That is, it's more restrictive. There are less things you can do with something with an ND. So yeah, this is what we did. Okay. This is just a table. Don't worry, you will have access to all resources. Okay. I understand that this is very small, whatever is written down. For those of you who are next to the image, can you just read it out and share? What is this line which is given down?
5 hours in
Last one.
Okay, just the last line. Yeah, not over here. This one. It's very tiny though.
OLS 5R in
Yes.
relation to CC license, copyright and public domain is adapted from the ISTA's CC license
activities by
and the 5R activity.
Yes.
Because 5 was a Creative Commons license
Yeah.
by Krista McNutt, license
Yes.
under CC by 40.
Huh. So tell me something. Is this resource can suppose you all have to reuse this. You all are doing the same presentation. You take my slides. Can you reuse this?
No.
Why?
License under the first license or something.
This is by honor.
Put licensing people there.
SCP is not there.
But wait, this is the legend now. Okay, this last line is a legend. I understand it's small. It's not very important for your audience. The more important part is this. But I want you all to think a little bit. Therefore, I'm asking you all to focus. Now, if you had only this slide and you see CC by, can you reuse it?
No, it is in instruction.
Yes, CC by you can use, no?
We can use.
You can use it. It is CC by you can use. Can you adapt it? Can you change the color?
Everything.
Yes. Okay, you can do. You can sell it commercially also. Okay. Now the question is this: who created this resource?
David Wiley.
David Wiley has created. Did he create this version? I agree. David Wiley has created. We see his names multiple places. But has he created this version?
No.
Who has created this version?
जो present कर रहा है.
Who has created?
Who is presenting it?
Krista has created this version. The last one. The whatever is highlighted here, right? This is the version she has created. Which is the version David Wiley has created? This, the first one, the CC license and the 5 hours. Okay?
has created.
He has created this version. This is the original.
You are created this CC by 4.
This one, who has created? I have created
Those
it.
who is presenting.
Yes. So I have created it and I have written the title. This is the title I have given. Okay, Wiley R is adapted. Now I have adapted it. I have not recreated it completely. I have adapted it from where? This is the first resource and this is the second resource. Okay, so I mentioned who I have created this resource and then I am giving a license to the resource. Okay, now another thing is this. while I have created it. Currently, I am a resource person for NCRT. So the copyright belongs to who? NCRT. Okay. So while I'm the resource person to deliver the session, right? NCRT is paying me to give the session, right? So the copyright doesn't even the this doesn't belong to me per se. Okay, it belongs to NCRT, and the licenses that if you see the products that are created are licensed under. If you see in my first slide, I'll get back to it. CC by NCSA. Okay, we'll come back to if you have multiple licenses, what do you do? Okay, just a few more seconds. On this slide, there are things that you need to remember. What are the things? 5 R's. Okay, we'll come back to these terms a little bit. What are these 5 R's? Yes, yes. And you have the licenses that are on the top. PD is your public domain, and your C is your copyright. Now, at the end, you will see some things which are OER and some things that are not OER. I will get to this. Okay, not all Creative Commons license are considered as OER. What are OER? What is O? Open Educational. Yes. So, out of the 6 licenses that you did, some of them only are your OER, the other are not OER. Now, looking at the ones that are not OER, can you tell me what is the similarity with the 2 licenses that are okay? Assume that copyright is there. What is similar between these 2? What symbol is similar?
By.
Yes.
By.
Yes.
By.
By is similar. And what else? ND. Now, by is similar with the other licenses also. Okay. But only ND you don't see in other places. So, what does this tell us? Yes. That means any resource that you cannot change and adapt is not an OER. You might be able to share it, but it's not an OER. Okay. Now, I thought I'll also share a few terms that you sometimes find when you search online. You might not always find the term OER, or you might not find the term CC license, but you might find something called as open access. Okay, open access is like your water cooler. It's accessible. Anyone can access. Okay, your copyrighted material to an extent, you might have to pay a fee to read a book or to access material in a book. But other materials are easily accessible. You have something called as cultural works. A lot of museums, for that matter, national museums that are there, they put out things under free cultural works. So cultural works normally have these kind of licenses. So this is again, I know we've done the slide, but what is important for you all right now is what is given below the slide. So can you tell me what license is given to this particular resource? There are 2 licenses that are there, right?
CC by SA for the
Yes. Oh, original was CC by SA, and that is by Cable Green. Okay. Good question. What is this 4.0? That's just a version. Okay, the version that's there. And then you have another person called as Jonathan Poritz, who's on the first line. He's taken whatever Cable Green has done and has adapted it. And of course, I then adapted it into this version. Now, I'm just checking the time so that I know how much time we have left. We have very little time. Okay, so I'm going to breeze through this. Okay, we may not get enough of time for the treasure hunt. Okay, if I go fast and if you need me to stop, I will. Okay, but you need to indicate. Now, when we are doing our resources, now we know how to find. The main question is, should we create or should we curate? You've seen online, right, that there are multiple resources. You've seen curation happen in a lot of places. Say, for instance, in museums or even on the radio. Let me ask you a question. Suppose you are to invite me for lunch to your places, okay? And I am interested in seeing what is the typical food, right? What is the typical food from your area? Can you give me names? Stew. Stew, okay. What else? What's a typical place? A typical food. Okay. Yes. So there'll be multiple typical foods, right? Now the question is, okay, with this food, with this main dish, what would your accompaniment be? Can you serve anything with that food? Say for us in Goa, it's fish curry rice. Now I'm gonna give you fish curry rice, and assuming that you're a non-vegetarian, okay? I would have like something called as soul curry, which is made of a kokum drink that you have to help you digest your food or whatever. So in the same way, you will also have in terms of food certain things that go well with the dish and other things that do not go well. Now in the same way, when you're presenting a materials, if I have to create some content for my learners, there will be certain things that go well together, other things that do not go well. Say for instance, I serve you gulab jamun before the meal. Will it work? I mean, you will eat it, but is it the ideal thing for you? May not be the case. So in that case, whenever now we found our materials, we need to also keep in mind how we are presenting or how we are giving this food to our learners. It is not, curation is not a mere compilation. It's not like a thali, I give everything there and I tell the learner, you eat now. If the learner doesn't know what to start with first, second, or third, they will require the guest you to tell me, okay, I have to start with this dish first. Then I go to the next. Then I mix these together. So, as educators, our role is to tell the learner, okay, this is what you do first, this is what you do next. Okay, and then you continue on your journey. So, therefore, they say curation is an art, but also science. Science, why? Pedagogy is involved. What you have first, second, and what you continue. So I'm going to, this is something that I hope that you all do, is consider curation before you actually create. Why? You've seen online, right? So many images are already there. So many videos exist. So why then should you create? Every minute, now this is a very old screenshot. Okay, it's taken in 2021. With the advent of AI, there'll be even more content online. So if there is this much content already there, how do you like? I mean, you don't want to create something. It's important to reuse. Now, when you reuse, what are the steps? Okay, 5 easy steps. One, locate. Second, compare the resources with each other. Third, analyze. Fourth, you plan how you're going to use it. And fifth, I mean, after doing your masterpiece, you have to share it now. Someone needs to go through your material. So first, how do you locate? This is where I'll just take 2 minutes. I'll go through it. All of you know the concept of keywords, right? The keywords that you put in your, say for instance, you're teaching a concept, you know what are the main words that are there. When you're writing, when you're using Google or any other search, it's important that you ask a question in a manner that Google can understand. If I start speaking in a language that you don't know, obviously you might try and understand through my gestures, but you might not know the nuances. Now, while you're talking to Google or any search engine, it's important for you to use your Boolean operators called as no, and, or you can use like commas and things like that. So, keywords, advanced search features, specialized portals, and check the license. How many of y'all have used the Google specialized search? Okay. Anyone else? Okay, then I'll quickly take you through and show. Say for instance, I have to search for, I don't know, what do I want to search for? I want to search. Give me something that I want to search. I want to minutes. Okay. Assume that I need images of minutes. I go to minutes. You have tools. That's here. Let me increase the size so that you can see. Okay. Now remember, all search engines will have some kind of advanced search features. All search engines. You just need to find, some places it's left, other places it's right. You just need to find where it is. You go to tools. Now, yes, you have your advanced search. And here I see Creative Commons license. I click on this. I have a range of things. Now, do not trust whatever comes up. You have to check again the license. And also say for instance, I want, maybe I just need some of the image. I don't want the entire thing. I want to cut it. Then my license needs to be such that I should be able to adapt. Say for instance, I check this. I don't only rely on this. I go visit the site, scroll down. I have some kind free to use. Now this one I will click. Legal simplicity tells me what am I allowed to do. Okay? You're allowed to use. All photos are free to reuse. Attribution not required. So that CC BY is not there for this. But see, the thing is always this. If you can attribute, why not attribute? Okay. Say for instance, I have another image. I'm just toggling. I have Wikipedia Commons. I scroll down. Now here I can see the CC license and it explains to me in detail. Okay. If I'm using any other search engine, whether it is YouTube or this, you have this feature. You also have specialized portals, something called as Openverse. So Creative Commons is was created by this US organization some many years back, um, and they developed this license. So in the last few years, they also developed this thing called as Openverse. One minute. Now, Openverse is already a portal where all of the content in it is CC licensed. Say, for instance, I want spices. I can choose what content I want, whether I want audio, video, images. And on the right hand side, you can see these are the licenses that we've done. Say, for instance, I want this particular one. I click and I filter. Okay. You will be able to check the license also. It's mentioned very clearly what it is. I can just copy this now and paste it into my document. Okay. We've done this. Sorry, where am I? We've done specialized tools. Of course, you can. There are repositories like something like this for audio. There are multiple. These are just a few. You Google it out. You will find many others. Okay. Specialized. I think I've covered this. Yeah. How much time?
10 more minutes.
10 more minutes. Okay. We'll finish. We'll finish. Okay. Any questions here?
No.
Repositories? Okay, great. Next is important to compare. Compare why? Suppose I have two images. I need to know which one I'm going to use. Now, all of this would depend on multiple things. But first, I need to store the versions. What do I store? I store the links. Maybe find some system to store it through topic, location. Location just means the link. Okay. Compare it for what? The form. Like you were saying, right? If it is a PNG file, I may be able to adapt. But if it's in other format, I may not be able to adapt the image. So all of this matters. The size, the duration. If you give a 1 hour video to your students or to anyone for that matter, you think they are going to go through it? No. We are all of our attention spans are very less. So you might want to find a format that actually works. Next, analyze. If you find a resource that is linked to your own topic, you will check and see whether it is correct. Because today, especially with AI generated content, you have all sorts of things online. So you need to really verify. You'll check whether the information is correct, whether representation. Suppose in the illustration or it's an animation, it's free to reuse. But I have everyone with blue eyes, blonde hair, white skin. I know my students don't look like that. And if it's a concept that's talking about something in their environment, then I want to have content that is linked to their own reality. Okay, so it needs representation needs to be there. Or if a content doesn't represent different genders, so that is also not right. Next, now it doesn't matter how beautiful my resource is. If it is not aligned with what I want to teach, it's completely useless. So I need to check whether it actually meets, whether it's clear enough. What are the visual aspects? What's the auditory quality also, and whether it is accessible. Suppose the content requires me to purchase a software. Content might be free, but the software is something that I need to pay for. Then that's not something that I want to invest in. We need to check whatever content we use, whether our learners, whoever we are creating the content for, they are able to reuse it. If I'm developing something where my learners need a login, then obviously this would create issues of accessibility. You need to analyze and see. Sorry, the step 4 is plan, not analyze. Where you're going to use it or how you're going to use it. Are you using the whole textbook or are you using just one chapter of the textbook as a standalone piece or as a part of a greater whole? Where do you use it? Are you using this resource, this image that you found, as an introduction, as an activity, as an exercise? Could be multiple means. And then, how do you structure the flow? Say, for instance, your food. If you invite me to your place, there might be a starter, then there'll be the main course, and then there will be like you'll give a drink in between to quench your thirst, and then there will be a dessert. So, in which structure are you presenting now this material? So The next question is, okay, you've decided your course, your menu. Now you want to put your name to it. How do you put your name? You need to remember first thing. One, title, author, source, and the license. For example, these are two things that are given. Water cycle title by whoever author is licensed under whichever the license is, and I've hyperlinked these images. Now, four, but before I'll do four and then I'll show you a super easy way to put in your license. To do this, I'll show you a super easy way. Five is showcase. Where do you showcase it? Either on your portal, your website, wherever you showcase material. Before I do this, so I had mentioned to you about Creative Commons, right? They have also created a website. Like on their website, you can use this to choose what license you need. Say, for instance, you've created something. They have given you questions, so you can choose. Now, do you know which license you need? If you know yes, then you can directly go and choose what license you want. It tells you it gives you some information. But if you forget whatever the licenses we learned today, don't worry. You can go and click on no. Then it gives you a few more questions. Do you require attribution? Do you want your name to be mentioned? Yes, I like if my name is mentioned. Now, do you want others to use it commercially? No, not really. Or yes, it could be whichever. Do you want others to adapt it? Now, what did we say? Resources that cannot be adapted, are they OER? No, they're not OER. So, if my goal is to create an OER, so yes, I want people to adapt it. Require adaptations to be licensed under the same work? Ideally, yes. Okay. Confirm, yes, I own. I have read. And the moment you do this, you also have this range of questions that are on the right hand side if you're ever lost or confused. You put in your name. I'm just going to put a random thing for now. Okay. Grain. Hi Natasha, I have my link and I'm just going to say 2026. Okay. The moment you do this, the license that I chose comes up. You will have further information and you will have mark your work. Suppose I wanted to put this information on my website. Okay, I just need to copy this. I can choose to have the full tool name. Like what this, if people don't remember what CC by NCSA is, or the short version. I can choose to have it if I want it in a printed work. Obviously now because grain I've written it in small letters. If I write in caps then this thing will change. I have a question here. You can see that there is this copyright symbol, right? But I'm still saying this is CC license. What does this mean? There's a copyright symbol here. And we just did that copyright is on the other side of the spectrum. But then I'm still giving this license CC by NCSA, right? So I'm saying that this license is I'm able to reuse it. But the copyright symbol is still there. So don't worry, this copyright symbol means you own the copyright. Okay? It only means that you are letting people, or I'm letting people in this case, to reuse it for non-commercial purpose. Okay? So don't worry if you see this thing, doesn't mean it people cannot reuse or they have to send me an email. No, not required. Okay? Questions here? Okay. So great. You already know then how.
Just one thing. If copyright is on why is your name not being reflected here?
I put my name, no sir. I put my name. Yeah, I just put grain because we have lack of time. And ideally, if I have like my web page or any other page, or if there is an online place for where this resource is, I would want to put the link, and this will become hyperlinked. Okay, like you saw on my slides. This one. Okay, like you see, these are all hyperlinked. Oops, these are hyperlinked. So the moment I click on this, I will go to the license page. Okay, you can read further what this license allows you to do. Anyone else can read it. Okay, okay, so we did this. Last few minutes. When do you curate and when do you create? Remind me later. Just a few questions. I won't go through all of the questions, but just for you to remember that if a resource is not adapted to your learner's needs, if it is incorrect, if maybe the quality is not that good, then your answer to all of these questions would be yes, it's incorrect. And then you would need to create. Maybe you can create an adaptation. You don't need to recreate the entire video. Okay, an adaptation of it. If not, you can go ahead and just curate. Last reflection question. You found a long video or audio resource that's there, and now you just need to use a 3-minute segment. What will you do? What advice will you give?
Check the license.
Check the license. So what is the license?
Public domain.
Public domain. So public domain means
You can use.
you can use it. Do you need to credit the writer? I mean creator? Public domain. No need. It ideally it's good to credit, but not required. Okay, not a compulsion. Yes. What will you do? You can just reuse only that segment. You can use whatever tools that are there to cut out public domain, right? Don't need any permissions. We've done this.
But sometimes in public domain they have some few
Requirement. Then it is not public domain. If it is, if more criteria is there under public domain, right? If resource says that okay, you can reuse, but under condition, then it is not free to reuse. Okay, yeah. Now
zero is totally free.
Yes, zero means it's completely free.
But PD is sometimes.
Yes. Now you might have this question. Suppose a resource, one resource that you got is with one license, and the second resource has a different license. What do you do? Can you remix or can you not? Okay, you can use this table. It's freely available online. It's licensed under CCO. Okay, so therefore I have not given any credits for this. You take the first resource. Say for instance, the first resource is CCO. You look at the first column and then you look at the row. Suppose your first resource is CC by SA and the second resource is CC by. You have a tick mark, right? That means you can now recreate. You can merge it together and create something else. But say for instance the second resource is CC by NC. Then you cannot mix these resources together. I don't think we have time. We have like a minute left. Okay. So I will wrap up. Okay. So what we did today. One, we saw that there are a lot of OERs, there are a lot of bottles that are there, but there is also your public water available in water dispensers. We've seen how to use advanced search features, give credit where credit is due.
Even if it's a content, sentence or something, still you have to give credit.
Yes, because if the idea is not yours, then it's someone else's, right? Now, yes.
Idea is not, you can't copyright idea.
You can't copyright an idea, but if it's an idea of the sentence, that's what I mean. Yes, you're right. You can't copyright an idea. If I have an idea to build a palace, no one can copyright the idea, but you can copyright a product. Correct. You're right. You're right. And
But in any case, it's better to give the credit to the person.
yes, so when you said sentence, what I mean is sometimes a story is there. Say for instance, a person says that CC license is something that the world needs. Okay, suppose it's a major sentence. I can adapt that sentence and say it in my own words, but I have to still credit and say that okay, this is this person's idea to say that. Okay, that is what I meant by this. But the idea as a product can't be copyrighted. And yes, when you are sharing a resource, please choose your license.
Facts also.
Yes, certain facts like Delhi is the capital of India. I mean that's this. So those things can't be copyrighted. Okay. Yes, very good question. I was hoping someone asked me. AI created content. What do you do? Okay.
Till date, it is not copyrighted.
So the thing is this: you will have more instructions today afternoon or about AI content, but you need to keep in mind AI content is still content, right? So one, you will check and see what are. I know it's a long list. They give you these copyright instructions, right? You just scroll down and like tick, but you need to check what is the copyright what sorry let me reformulate that the output or whatever you get right from your chat gpt or your other tools, what is the copyright given to that material by the company. Suppose just give me a second, suppose they say that this material you can reuse it, okay, or you can use it in your own context, you still need to give credit to the source because you have put in the prompt, so the prompt belongs to you, right? For if you're doing like double shot prompting and all of those things. And at the same time, like you're crediting these sources, you need to give credit and say where have you taken the resource from? What is your okay? Yes, sir.
But this, it's still dangerous.
It
Because
is.
I'll tell you one thing. artificial is now narrow intelligence. It's not artificial intelligence.
Yes.
And secondly, whatever it does, it searches the database and
Yes.
it regenerates somebody's idea.
Exactly.
So that is why it's very dangerous.
Exactly, because you don't know on what data this AI has, like
And
yes,
most of the time it's wrong also.
yes. And one is the hallucinations that are there, and secondly, if the data they've taken from copyrighted sources and you are reproducing it, I mean, you are responsible then for the material that you're creating. Okay. So with this, yes, thank you for your attention. Yes.
Ma'am, I'm a content creator.
Mhm.
So years back, I found somewhere, we have created videos in multiple formats like MP4 and WebM. So somewhere I found that the format MP4 has some license and WebM format particularly that has a free.
Oscar, I'm not aware, so I don't want to give you some wrong information. I'm not aware of this, but I will find out. Okay, I will find out if there are any licenses linked to particular formats. Yes.
MP4 and WebM.
Yes, I'll find out. I'm not aware, so I will not be able to comment on it.
Actually, this was a long confusion, so I thought.
No, I'll find out. I'll find out from my sources and I'll inform you about it. Okay.
Thank you so much,
Last question.
Yes.
मैम, आजकल स्कूल्स में बच्चे बहुत सारा प्रोजेक्ट वर्क करते हैं
Yes.
और सारा उनका जो प्रोजेक्ट वर्क है वो
AI generated है.
हाँ AI है जो भी है वो उससे मतलब स्कूल्स में भी कॉलेजेस में इवन डिसर्टेशंस जो हैं रिसर्च वर्क में सो माय क्वेश्चन इज दैट अभी तक कितने ऐसे डेटा कहता है कि कितने केसेस में इसमें एक्शन हुआ है क्या बच्चों पे भी कार्रवाई हो सकती है अगर हुई है तो कहाँ और एडल्ट्स के लिए क्या रूल्स हैं
So the thing is this. Currently, the copyright violations are serious. When it comes to students, again, it depends on whether you're actually selling whatever you're creating. Because today students can also have startups. They can come up with their own companies, products. So in that time, we need to be very careful. Now, of course, in our school projects, no one's actually going to check. But we are in an age and time where we need to tell our students and what is the right way of going about searching for content and doing their presentations and what is unacceptable. 10 years earlier, we were not really concerned with all of this. Or at least when I was in school, I don't remember people telling me, be careful of what license is there. But now we need to be aware of it. And it's our duty also to tell the younger generation, right?
Always, ma'am, many teachers click photographs of classroom
Yes.
of their students,
Correct.
and they it is not public domain in the
Correct.
web. It is also very serious.
Yes,
Many
yes.
very serious.
No, that's true. You cannot click pictures of minors and put it out there without consent. That's also very. I wanted to show you all this open education for a better world, but the link is a little bit not working. Nonetheless, if you all want to create OERs, this is a really superb organization. You get mentoring for free. It's what Angel Ma'am has also mentioned. I've created two things. I've created a workbook for educators, a handbook for educators that combines social emotional learning with school subjects using three arts: doodling, dramatization, and music. Okay, so it's free online. You can check it out also. And another, you will find it one on this site. You can go and check my name or on my website. You can go to my website and in my blogs, I put up all of the OERs that I've created. So one of them is this book on STEAM education with arts. Okay, so check it out. You can obviously reuse it, translate it in whichever languages you want. It's under a CC license. Okay, CC by NC SA. So not commercial purpose, but yeah, you can like reuse, put your name to it. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Your name.
Yes, you should be able to. Or if my website is also there, you should get it. So
मैम अगले 2 दिन यही हैं आप लोग बाद में बात कर सकते हैं एक्चुअली नेक्स्ट सेशन के लिए सर आ चुके हैं ऑलरेडी थैंक यू मैम आपका सेशन इतना इंटरेस्टिंग था कि वो दिख ही रहा है पार्टिसिपेंट प्लीज आउटसाइड प्लीज हैव और विद इन 10